Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video, I'm actually really excited. I'm doing a foundation review. So I'm going to be trying on the Tom Ford Traceless Soft Matte Foundation. This is what the packaging looks like. And then this is the actual bottle. So it's like the hard plastic. It does have a twist, like pump. So you just twist that up. And yeah, I'm just gonna try that on. I'm gonna show you like my prep and then a couple of steps afterwards, and then I'll probably finish the rest of my makeup off camera. Okay, so I couldn't decide between both of these primers. This is the Fenty Soft Silk Pro Filter Primer, and this is the L'Oreal Glow Lock. So both of them claim to be hydrating, which is good because I have dry skin, and because that foundation is matte, that's what I wanna do. I wanna make sure I'm giving as much moisture to my skin as possible so I don't look like cracky and dry. I think I'm going to use the Fenty one. And I am very generous with the amount of primer because, yeah, I want to give this foundation its best chance, and I know my skin, so I just want to make sure I'm using enough. Okay, now that that is on, I'm going to go in with the Fenty Color Corrector. And I'm just gonna place this wherever I have my biggest areas of concern for color correction, which typically is underneath my eyes and around my mouth. And every once in a while I will have, if I have a leftover breakout, right here, that's a holiday skin right there. So sometimes I'll kind of go down just to help disguise that a little bit. And just blend all of this in. Okay, and now for the actual foundation. Oh, and I picked up shade 7.7 Honey. So I'm just going to... Okay, so right off the bat, I'm just going to pump it on the back of my hand, and it's a pretty runny consistency, which I really like. That reminds me of the Pat McGrath foundation, which if you guys have watched any of my videos, you know I'm obsessed with Pat McGrath's foundation. And then I'm also going to spray my sponge, and I'm just going to go in and start patting that in. So far, this is nice. Blending out really nicely. Definitely giving me full coverage, but still skin-like. This is nice. Let's see how it works on my forehead. I feel like I have some texture on my forehead. So I'm working on that. But I feel like this is blending out really nice too. That's a siren in the background, so if you guys can hear that, that's what that is. Whenever sirens lay down the horn, I always get so scared just because I'm like, oh my gosh, they don't always do that. So if they do that, I feel like, anytime their lights are on, it's an emergency, but I feel like when they lay down the horn like that, it's really an emergency. And I'm just like, oh, scares me for whoever they're helping. I hope they're okay. Okay, so I'm going to go in with concealer. This is the Pat McGrath concealer. I'm going to add a little bit more right here. just because I know that some people do like to build coverage. I don't typically, but I know that some people do. And again, just to help with the application, because I know my skin, I am spraying in between every use so it doesn't look too cakey. But I mean, of course, if you have more oily skin, you can, you know, skip that and not have to worry about it. Okay, and then one last cream product that I'm gonna put on my face is the Sheer Healthy Glow Highlighting Fluid by Chanel. So I love this stuff. It's so pretty. Any foundation I use has to work with this because, well, not necessarily. I could just not wear it, I guess, if it doesn't work, but that would really stink because I really, really love this stuff. I think this is definitely my favorite highlighter of all time. It's so, so pretty. It's just like this beautiful, beautiful glow. And again, it has that liquidy consistency. So I love using it. And I'm just going to use my hand, my fingers, and just kind of like blend that in. And I always go in with a little bit on the nose, just because I think a nose highlight is really pretty. And then I'm using whatever is left on my hand, and I'm just putting a little bit on the chin. Sometimes I think that's flattering. It kind of like helps balance out the glow. Okay, you guys, so that is pretty much all the cream products I'm going to use on my face. I do need to like set everything, finish my eyes and all of that. So I'm going to do that off camera. And I think I'm also going to wait probably like a half hour just to let everything really like settle in. And then I'll be back and we can wrap up. All right, I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back and I actually looked up the foundation just so I could read you guys some quick highlights. So it says that it has a liquid formula, which we know, I showed you guys that earlier. It's saying that it's a medium coverage, which now that I'm thinking about it, so that does kind of make sense that this isn't full coverage. There's definitely foundations that are more full coverage than this. I think compared to what I'm used to using, it's just more full coverage than what I'm used to. So that's why I was like, oh, I think this is full coverage. But it's not. It's technically medium. Although I do think you could build it to be a full coverage or like a light full coverage. And then, okay, it says it's actually best for dry, combo, and normal skin, which that surprised me just because I thought if it's a matte foundation, wouldn't that be perfect for oily skin? But yeah, that's not mentioned on here. And then there is hyaluronic acid in here, which is always a plus for me. And it says that it is formulated without sulfates, SLS, and SLES. So those are the highlights. The amount that you get is 1 ounce, which is pretty standard. It's $89, which eeks, I know. And the color, I think I said it earlier, but just in case, this is the 7.7 in the shade Honey. So that's the color that I'm wearing right now. So yeah, so that is pretty much the details of this. Now, I do like to quickly, whenever I'm reviewing products, or especially foundations, I like to go over the 3 Ps. So packaging, price, and then the product itself. As far as packaging goes, I really like the packaging. I like Tom Ford's packaging in general. I think it's really luxe. It's very pretty. I appreciate that there's a pump. And I like the frosted glass, not glass, I'm sorry, the frosted like acrylic plastic, I guess, because it gives that like luxe feel of glass without it being glass. Because glass is kind of scary, especially if you have to travel with it. I always get nervous that it's going to break in the makeup bag. So I really like the packaging. As far as the price goes, the price is not great. I think that there's a lot of nice foundations out there that are in like the $50 to $75 range, and even that is hard to like justify for a lot of people. I think $89, so once you add in tax, depending on, you know, where you live and what your tax is, you're pushing $100 for a foundation. I just feel like that's a lot. So I'm not a huge fan of the price, obviously. And then as far as the product itself goes, I really like it. I think it's really pretty. I feel like it was easy to use, easy to blend. It worked well with all the other products that I used today on my face. So yeah, I would probably, because of the price, keep this as more of a special occasion type of foundation, but that's just me. But it is a really, really pretty foundation. I'm not sad that I got it at all. So yeah, that is pretty much everything that I can think of as far as details go. But if there is something that I missed and you have a question specifically about it, let me know in the comments below, and of course I'll answer your questions. And then if you are curious about anything else I'm wearing today, check the description box because that'll all be listed in there. But if you guys enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you next time. Bye guys.